Hello and welcome to the Troyiverse. This is episode 16. So, today will be a short one. This is going to be mainly like an update. Um, the date is actually February 3rd. It is about 4:45 in the morning, a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, there's been a lot that happened since the last recording of episode 15. I was tasked to get some rest. And I don't know how to rest. So I was basically still doing everything I was already doing before, writing and editing my third book, my schoolwork, still have a, dean list GPA, going back to the president's list soon. Uh, uh, Jesus. I did stop playing my guitar just so I can kind of like relax and get situated. But I started playing video games to offset my hand-eye coordination from that to big video games again. I was still doing my shopping and my everything I was doing before, but because I felt like I was doing it in a more relaxed venue, it felt like I was relaxing. I was wrong. So my fifth dimensional self and my deity wisdom struck me down with a herniated disc. I'm still not sure how that transpired. I have my, thoughts and figures about it because honestly, it was really an odd day. I literally was drinking water. I now drink 5 bottles of water now as a mineral. Usually I would drink like 3 bottles of water. I know that's not enough, but I just started drinking five again. And I drunk 5 waters, but apparently I drank it way too quickly, and then it was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. Um, I was bedridden, still technically in bedridden. Um, and then for like a couple of days now, like 4 or 5 days, I am hobbling around the house in crutches. That was one of my family members before he passed away. But I am feeling better. But I'm in the whole experience of being bedridden and basically just reading comic books. I end up reading Killer Bee and I end up reading Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, both by David Crownson. Amazing books. Once again, met him. He signed my books for me. Very great guy. Very approachable. Very nice. But read those comic books. Now I'm about to actually start reading like Absolute Flash and Absolute Martian Manhunter and Absolute Green Lantern. But when I say these days of rest and relaxation and healing, um, it honestly allowed me so much gratitude because the fact of really I learned so much just in my stillness of just healing. Um, stretching, one thing, stretching is something I need to incorporate in my day to day life, which I have started to incorporate in my day to day life. So that's been a new expansive thing, which I used to stress before. Stress. I said stress. I did used to stress before. Now I no longer stress. But I used to stretch before. Previously in my life, I went to Kim's Karate, so I had to do stretching there. I played baseball, shortstop there, for the Power League, so I had to stretch then. I did other, sports and exercise environments, so I had to stretch there. But regardless of that, it wasn't something that I took like heed of and saying, "Oh yeah, this is something I definitely need to do." Now, also, just real fast, I am in my room right now, so if there is a return to the first 3 episodes of my audio behavior, I just want you to know that's why it sounds like that, and that's why this is going to be a shorter episode. However, another update. I have invested in myself so I can actually get a new type of microphone. So the TikTok and influencer, YouTube influencer, you know, microphone like with the clip on the shirts and yada yada yada. I actually invested in getting a two-in-one of those. So that'll be coming. I want to say this Thursday. So next week's episode 17, will actually have that new equipment that I'll be working with. So there's that. But with the reason why I'm so grateful is because I would have went so long with this sciatic nerve pain, and with this herniated disc pain that would have came and gone multiple ways and multiple reasons why, without me really understanding and knowing why, except until now, where I did a whole bunch of research because that's all I could do, just lay up in bed and just like look up stuff if I wasn't reading comic books. And one of the things that I came across was the fact that the sciatic nerve, it causes the pain and everything is caused by lack of oxygen. So basically, the sciatic nerve is getting strangulated and suffocated within your body because it wraps around and from the spinal cord down between your glute muscles, down your legs to your feet. But if it's your glutes and your lower back and you have a herniated disc that irritates and rubs up against and close off certain you know flows of systems to the sciatic nerve, which the dehydration is the death rattle or the strangulation cough of your nerve saying, "Hey, hey, I need some oxygen, and if I don't, then all this is going to go away." So a lot of physicians and doctors, what they do is they'll do a operation on your back to graft your spine so that it won't protrude anymore and it'll be off your nervous system. However, that's just a reaction to the symptom of what's going on in your body when in reality you could do certain things, certain, cow, cat, um, stretcher, pose, and that actually engages your core and also decompresses your lower spine and allows, spinal fluid and blood and everything that goes through your spine, as well as gives it a nice cushion in between the vertebrae that will actually have more flush liquid and, it like movement going into it, which I've been doing for the last 3 days and it's been working wonders. Um, but also hydrating, your limbs and making sure that, you stay in shape with your glutes. So I always love using the word glutes, but I never actually engaged my glutes. So now I'm going to start engaging my glutes, but not too much because a overstressed glute or inflamed glute can also be, detrimental to the airflow and oxygen intake of your sciatic nerve. So, with that being the case, once again, if this didn't happen the way it happened, how it happened, I would have kept going about my life, my day, having these issues because I didn't know the knowledge that I know now. But now that I know that knowledge, now I can actually take the best steps forward to make sure that this situation never happens again to me, and also hopefully this situation never happens to those I care about and those that listen to the podcast. If I don't care about you, or if you know what I'm trying to say, if you're not my soul tribe, but you hear this, I hope this is a great message for you. But for all those that are my soul tribe and my, soul family, then hopefully you will never have to suffer from this situation. But if you do, or you are at this moment, hopefully these tips will also help you as well. But in this regard, I actually was doing so all this research I was doing and all the things I was doing, researching, you know, herniated discs, sciatic nerve issues, and how can naturally help this. I came across, the algorithm, you know, helps with so much and so many new products and new things. And now I already have a back brace that actually is situated for sciatic nerve damage and also herniated discs and stuff like that, and actually put stuff, put everything, as much in place as the belt can easily do. But what I just recently discovered was this new apparatus where it wraps around you. It has like four distinct contact portions, and it's like on the two on both sides of your hips, the stationary, and then two higher on your body, like around your ribs, and it basically just like strap yourself into it, and then you it's basically like a car jack but for your spine. So you basically just rotate the cords or rotate the wheel, and it just basically just like extends and like pushes your spine upward to decompress it from your lower lumbar. And apparently it just came out, like I want to say last year or something like that. Apparently, it's very beneficial. It's actually helping a lot of people to not actually have to engage or deal with surgery. Apparently, you have to wear it 3 times a day to your leisure, but for like 30 minutes a day on each time you wear it. And I'm looking forward to getting it. Like I actually ordered it already. It's actually be on its way sometime in the next 2 weeks or whatever. And I also got some cushions and a back cushion for my chair. So it actually helps for your posture and for sciatic nerve or herniated disc on lumbar support. So that's dope. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this new way of living and this new way of engaging myself to be healthier because honestly, I've always been saying this, and that's the only part of this that I've neglected, only because of certain circumstances within this house I'm living in. Like I put so much stuff in the back room that now I'm too afraid to work out because I feel like the floor is becoming so weak because there's so much stuff there. So I want to remove a lot of the stuff that's in there that I'm not utilizing, and then kind of rearrange or feng shui the room. But at the same time, I know I'll be leaving this house soon. I'll be moving, and even in my RV or my hitch wagon, I was going to connect to my own vehicle, Denagi, and just be off and go, wild blue yonder of the world. But regardless of that, um, yeah, I'm just really grateful. Like everything is really coming to basis. I've I've made a really deep connection with my soul besties fam, and they're amazing. And we actually are communicating a lot more on the Astro and in the on video chats and stuff like that. So it's really been nice, like to find someone who truly sees me and who truly understands me without it being uh, some type of like high school or childish idea of what friendship should be or how it should be. Like we respect each other and we see each other for who we are, not the perceptions of what society tells us we should be towards each other or to ourselves. So it was a really beautiful friendship, and I'm really grateful for it. And I'm looking forward to when both of us come out our hermit mode and are able to really enjoy each other's presence face to face in the 3D dimension that we call life. So even with that, um, it's been it's been interesting. It's been an interesting week or so. Like I've been clearly I've been kind of fasting. My I did go to the hospital. I want to say after like day three. I want to say I went to the hospital. Day 2, I went to the hospital. Um, it was actually kind of wild because I like messaged my PCP and was like, "This is what's going on," yada yada yada, and he was like, they called me like the next day. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna need you to come in." And I was like, all right, but it sucked because literally just went in there for them to just talk to me and look at me, and I was like, all right, and I was supposed to get steroids uh, pharmacy didn't have it. They didn't have it for like 2 days, but then they finally got it. So I was able to get it like delivered to me. Thank you for that, CVS, for delivering your prescriptions. That's dope. Because I could not. I don't have anybody in my life that I can rely on that will do stuff like case in point. I can't go out to go shopping. My roommate, she could go out to go shop, but she's not because the recent snow and stuff like that that fell and stuff like that. But she could have people buy her groceries and fruits and stuff like that. Actually, somebody did. Like I think her brother went to a grocery store and went and bought her fruits and vegetables and stuff like that for her. And yeah, it was just you know that was that. Like, so I'm just waiting until I feel better so that I can go shopping for myself. Luckily, I did get some stuff before the snow came, and I wasn't really because I was kind of like in my bedroom. I wasn't able to really eat that much while I was on bed rest. So, and a lot of stuff I needed to like cook and stuff like that. So the stuff that needed to be cooked is still there, just waiting for me to be able to like traverse my stairs, which I have been more and more lately. Um, but it's been nice. It's been good. Like I've been detoxing. I've been kind of like relaxing. Like no wine. Like just water. I've been still eating my garlic. And like a piece of bread with my medicine and stuff like that. But I've just been kind of like in my zone, and it's been nice. It's been like outside of the pain of the herniated disc and sciatic nerve issues. Like it was really great. And honestly, I'm not even going to really complain about the pain inside the nerve and stuff because truthfully, I know how it feels to be without pain all my life and all of my afterlife. But at the same time, I understand that pain is a gift. Like it is. Like when all you have is the psychological or emotional like wherewithal when you're like an astral plane, when you come back and you actually feel tangible things, even though we all know that matter doesn't actually touch matter. Like we have invisible barriers, invisible force fields around our, you know, atoms and protons and neutrons and stuff like that. So we don't even touch actual matter. We just perceive that we touch matter. But regardless, look it up yourself. Um, it was just an interesting concept of just being grateful for everything that's going on in my life and grateful for everything that my friends are experiencing. Like a lot of them are going through a lot of ups and downs, but they're still here and they're not giving up, and I appreciate them for that because I know the world would be a darker, sadder place if they did give up and they weren't here. But I appreciate them because I know what I've experienced and the hardships I've been experiencing in my life growing up, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but that's my journey. And that was a journey that I signed up for, apparently. So I'm not saying that they signed up for their journey, but I understand that pain is pain, regardless of it's physical, emotional, spiritual, mental. But regardless of what the pain is, it's still going to have an effect on somebody on whatever deepest level that person is experiencing it. And with that, it's just, I wish I was able to teleport, to do instant transmission and just like go to each every person that is going through something at the time and just give them a hug and just sit there with them and just when they're, done crying or done screaming or done laughing or whatever they need to express their grief and their emotion at that time to just be like, okay, I'm glad I was here for you, and then pop back into my room and just, relax and read a comic book, decompress myself. But I can't do that just yet. One day soon. But yeah, it's just life is hard, man. And my my one goal is to try to just bring as many people together so that we don't have to weather this thing called life by ourselves. Like we can do this better together. And I honestly really do feel that way. So with that being said, um, I think I'm actually might just have this be just a regular just update thing. I don't really have much to say tonight or this week. Honestly, like truthfully, I was I wasn't going to actually do this like update at all because I was just kind of like I'm kind of to the limit. I've been kind of like well, the only other things I could really talk about, honestly, that's in my wheelhouse that I've been like really looking at and really like paying attention to has been like the whole raids and like all these different places, these terroristic acts with ICE, fuck ICE, by the way. Like, it's just despicable and it really is a death rattle. Like, it's so crazy how much hate and how much just genocide is on like so many minds of just so many different people. And it's not even just one of those things that I feel like I feel like this is spirit. I feel like this is energy. Like I feel like it's like it's 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 something deeper because some like it was crazy. I literally it was like I'm getting off the ice topic real fast. But honestly, before I get off the ice topic, call your local representatives. Just constantly call your local representatives. If you don't got the number, look it up. Somebody is going to be online to look up your local representative. Call them and let them know you do not support ICE. You do not want ICE to be any part of any type of legislation or any type of taxes that you're paying into this whack ass fucking government. This is no longer a thing about sitting and resting on your laurels and being like voting don't do shit because clearly we understand if you don't vote then bad shit happens because this is why all this shit is happening. Because that idiots on the right with their racist, bigoted piece of shit asses ran out in droves to fucking make sure this orange fucking pedophile and his fucking friends went out in the world and did what the fuck they did, while everybody else was like, "Well, voting don't really help on the other side," and now we fucked up, and everybody, why is this happening? Do your research, dude. Like, really, do your research. But at this moment, you gotta like, do something. Call your local representative, because this is no longer a thing about. It was never about rounding up illegal immigrants. It's only about rounding up people that don't respect the authority of this piece of shit who shits himself in the Oval Office. He shitted himself on camera. He was on it like y'all talked about Sleepy Joe. Okay, I'd rather have an old man fall asleep because that's what old men do. Old men fall asleep. That's my uncle falls asleep at a drop of a hat every 35 seconds. If he's not talking to someone or not being talked to, he goes into power naps. He falls asleep faster than Bruce Wayne. Like, I, who's that scene? Bruce Wayne was like, I go to sleep. I can fall asleep in 7 seconds, and I only need 2 hours of sleep, and I'm wide awake. But that's basically my uncle, but it's faster. So funny. But yeah, like what the fuck, dude? Like, I'd rather have Sleepy Joe. Well, actually, I don't want to have Sleepy Joe. But, like, instead of, like, a president who is fucking insane, that shits on himself, who can't read. This motherfucker literally said that milk went down 44%. When on the board, it literally said 0.5%. 0.5. That's how much it went down. 0.5. This motherfucker said 44%. And they literally had to take that off of the fucking side because he said 44%. And they was like, yeah, let's just remove that. Not to mention all the goddamn Epstein file stuff that been popping up that the DOJ been hitting up on their website and taking down like it's the fucking hokey pokey. I mean, don't get like we get it. Like y'all killed somebody, so y'all tried to release the list to quiet everybody down for killing an American citizen, a woman. And then I was like, oh shit, people want to know what the fuck we did, so let's take that down. But also, let's arrest Don Lemon and all these other POC independent journalists and stuff like that, because hopefully that would disguise the fact that we picked the Epstein list up. But guess what, motherfuckers? That's what screenshots are for. And so many people screenshotted that shit. That shit is everywhere. You can't keep lying and saying, oh, you didn't do shit when y'all keep fucking playing a hokey pokey with the Epstein list. Shit is disgusting. Y'all need to burn in fucking hell. But before y'all burn in hell, y'all need to be tortured. Slowly. Yeah, that's it. So anyway. the it's actually funny too because when I say it was a spirit of like just genocide, it's just like ridiculousness. Literally it was a woman on TikTok that I follow who's I enjoy their content and they was talking about, the whole concept that how originally there were women and women were asexual and they produced the glands, the sperm glands as well as the, yeast, their ovary glands to produce hairs and stuff like that, without the genitalia of man and sperm, yada yada yada. Because we all know that mutations are formed through evolution, and that's why the concept of men, the Adam and Eve story always was something that always annoyed me because it doesn't show the actual factual stuff of it. Because point blank period, like I'm not gonna go into it. Just do your research. But in nature, and it shows in the history of human nature, there was a time when there were women, basically Amazonian tribes like the Mascara, where they would just produce children on their own. There was no men on the island, no men there, and they would just produce, offspring. That is the thing. So I'm literally was like agreeing with the person who's saying, like, yeah, no, that's right. And it's funny because evolution, like, like genetics and evolution evolved human beings to become more into this male aspect of just appearance and like dominant traits or like that. And it's funny because now a few of these or the few of these mutations that are men are now going to be the cause of the extinction of the earth if stuff don't change. And I'm literally like, yeah, like, agreeing with the folks. And then some weirdo comes up out of nowhere and was like, nope, we going back to the old days. I'm like, the fuck nope gotta do with it. They were like, what do you mean? Oh, like, so I guess you mean genocide all men now? Because this is where I get all like my panties in a bunch, if you will, with this whole thing of where this war of the roses, the war against the sexes type shit goes, and it's like I said it before and I'll say it again. Yeah, like the women that come at come at dudes and all dudes are this, all dudes are that, which is ridiculous. Like, so what do you want? You want your if you have a son, you want your son to be killed. If you had a father who was actually a good father, you want your father to be killed. You got brothers who are actually good dudes, you want your brothers to be killed. Like I don't help me understand it. Help me figure it out. Because then if it comes down to, oh no, I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about everybody else, then who are you to make that choice? Who are you to make that choice to say, oh, not that one, those ones? Because now it goes back into the whole thing about, oh, that's not a good black person, that's a bad black person. Let's hang that black person because I think he's bad. Or let's deport that person because they don't speak our language, they don't have the same accent as us. Like this shit don't make sense. Now, well, I said this before and I'll say it again. I don't mind the fact of segregation. I honestly think if all these weirdo rednecks want to like not be around black people, they want to hate black people and hate all the indigenous people and anybody else that are POC, cool. Go live in Arkansas. Go live in Utah. Go live somewhere in the desert, dry heat. Y'all love that shit. Or go live in Antarctica. Y'all love that shit too. I don't give a fuck. Go board yourselves up in a fucking area where y'all can just eat, you know, seasonless food and just, I don't know, whittle wood and make drumming with 2 spoons. I don't know what y'all be doing. But go over there. Like everybody else is gonna be cool and copacetic without y'all here. Because everybody else is starting to finally understand, oh, it's white people. Oh, it's white people. That's what it is. White people are like the problem. Because point blank period, all black people have been saying this shit since the end of fucking slavery. Hell, during slavery, some of them. That's why they got lynched and fucked up and killed and yada yada yada. Like these motherfuckers is fucking savages. They're fucking pieces of shit. Like the only culture they have is fucking stuff culture. They steal everything. Now this is not going to be the whole totality of the monolith of white people, because there are allies out there, and I fuck with a lot of different white people in my day, in my time. But like, once again, point blank period, call a spade a spade. White people created all this mess. It's up to white people to stop all this mess. It was never up to black people to fucking combat white fucking racism, white fucking bigotry, and all this other bullshit. It was other white people who benefited from this shit to being like, you know what? Even though I'm benefiting from this shit is wrong. This shit is fucking disgusting. How could you? How could we sit back and watch y'all while y'all did it? Finally, now that other white people are starting to be murdered the same way black people have been murdered for centuries, now they start to understand. Now they start to see it. I've seen so many videos on TikTok, Instagram, all over where white people are being like, "Oh my God, I was so blind. I mean, I heard it. I heard people of color and saying all this stuff, but I just never really paid attention to it. Now I see what they're talking about. I mean, listen, better late than never. Better late than never. But at the same time, all right, cool. Now that y'all know this is what it is, do something. Do something. Get your uncles at the lawyers. Get your aunties that are fucking district attorneys. Get all these motherfuckers and be like, yo, let's do something now. Because what the fuck? But regardless of whatever they're going to do, I already got my plan and I already know what I'm doing. And I'm looking forward to that plan being implemented and orchestrated and me moving on to greener pastures. But besides that, like, honestly, I'm not really in I'm not in the headspace to go into like my childhood stuff today. And this one, that's why I was like, this is gonna be a short one today. This is more like an update than anything else. I really wasn't even trying to rant about this whole ICE fucking bullshit ass terrorist Gestapo Nazi fucking Germany situation that they're fucking trying to pull. Like, I am happy about the raids that happened on the facility. I think it was in LA. I think it was in LA, and I think maybe Chicago. I do know in Michigan they were like going in hard too, but I think, yeah, I think I seen the footage of the LA one where like they basically was keeping the ICE agents in the facility. They basically was either like trying to run in there to storm it, or like they was like keeping them in there. Either way, it was fucking beautiful to watch. Um, like I love that even though the fucking media is working with the administration, is not trying to show that people are not happy with this. Normal human civilization, human beings, civilized human beings are not okay with this regime. They're not okay with terroristic acts. They are fighting back. I am so happy about that. And even though the news don't want to fucking show it, they don't want to air it like that. You got to get that shit on social media. Like, I'm proud of to see individuals stepping up and doing something. It's really it warms my whole it warms my whole it warms my soul. It warms my soul. It really does. Like for real. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. Um, which is another reason why I gotta get myself in shape because I can't be bedridden and on crutches and also trying to learn how to dual wield swords and train like Dritz Stewart. But regardless, um, yeah, it's I just want to say we will win. When I say we, I mean those that are kind and are empathetic and are authentic and are walking on the path and journey of love and kindness. Like this is, like I said, a death rattle for the tyranny to just crash and burn. This is the end of Rome, and I am grateful that I'm actually alive to actually see this. It's amazing. It's impressive. Um, like I said, I did not have everything marked down on my bingo card of like the apocalypse, but this is definitely a good one. Like, remember, I thought I was gonna have like aliens and zombies and stuff like that. Was it 28 days later, Independence Day stuff, which would have been great if they did destroy the White House, but with all of them inside of it, oh, that would have been great. But yeah, I just I have no concerns or stress about what will happen in the future because of the fact that I know that me, my daughter, and our flock is going to be fine. And the world is going to be okay too. It's just going to need, you know, some training wheels for a while. Like basically, just going to need some training wheels. People want to like re-educate themselves on how to be kind and gentle and like living in harmony with each other. And they'll get there. I mean, I'll leave my pamphlets out for my spiritual totality to help people gain more insight and wisdom. But after I put these pamphlets out, man, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm just gonna be traveling yeah, all over the place, driving, flying, on trains. It is what it is. I just want to see the world. That's all I want to do. Just see the world, experience life, and meet my new friends and soul family. Like, yeah, that's all I really care about. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Okay, so actually, this went longer than I expected. I'm actually proud of it. Oh, you know what's actually funny too? Because I've been playing games, video games recently and stuff like that. I literally ran through the was it 2018 and 2020 God of War Ragnarok. Then I ended up playing the Spider-Man Miles Morales um, game and the Spider-Man 2 game, and ended both of those on hundreds. And they were fantastic, by the way. So now I'm actually playing Final Fantasy Remake 7, the Final Fantasy 7 Remake. So good. Like, I did not expect to have such a heartfelt reaction to the characters expiring, and and it also Barrett's daughter, like Marlene, like has me crying every single scene. Like every scene they show her, was just like, Daddy's not coming home, and I just tear up every time. Just every time she said that line, I was just like, oh, you got me, you got me, you got, I gotta, I gotta watch, I gotta watch Warehouse 13. That's what I've been doing. So I'll play the game, and I'll get to like a point because right now they just dropped the plate on District Seven or like that. So we lost District 7. The the whole you know militia group is gone, which that was just all of them gone, like all of them not, like which it made sense, but like damn. But yeah, so I had to go watch. I had to watch Warehouse 13 or like Eureka. Like that's I'm jumping back and forth between Warehouse 13 and Eureka. But yeah, man, that game, man, that game. It first off, it's topical, totally topical. Uh, regime of powerful, well, they are Japanese, but powerful men in power with money who is putting the chokehold on people underneath them, raising prices, making people live in slums, telling them we're doing what's best for you, even though they're killing the world and draining resources from the world that's going to destroy it anyway. It's just topical. Just topical to what's going on now. And a small ragtag group of people that just want to say no, no more. We're going to fight you. We're going to fight you to the bitter end because this is our world. This is our lives. How dare you look at us like we're filth when we are just as important as you are? And that's why we fight. That's what we will win because we value life and y'all value money and power. So all that to say, Final Fantasy VII Remake is an amazing game. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I really can't get enough of playing it, and it's so funny because if I was as bedridden, I probably would have ended the game by now. But even though I am bedridden, I am still enjoying the fact that I have these moments where I can go back into my game room and like still play the game and stuff like that and enjoy myself back there playing Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game. I also have what is it a Rebirth? Yeah, so I have Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So I believe that's part two. Like every time I kind of look at it, I'm like, is that part two or is it like just a DLC to it? I don't know. Because I know they like change timelines for a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of different things going into play with the situation with the how Sephiroth is like yada yada yada. But wish I had the theory about Aerith, but I want to wait until I've actually finished the game to see if I was right or not. But yeah, um, guess that's pretty much it for this episode. Once again, just an update episode. So next time you hear my voice, I will basically have a new microphone. Um, hopefully, hopefully my device, my back brace device, my jack rat back, my jack back. I was going to say Jack Black. My Jack back belt device. Hopefully it'll be here, and I'll be jacking my back up in the best way possible. Oh, with that device, my voice to be clear, it'll be less of a sound damper, sound reduction, or muting, yada 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 yada. From this microphone ever again. I won't be able to hear that. This is my new mic. Fingers crossed, and then yeah, I have a better setup going on for this podcast. So, with that being said, thank you for traversing this verse, and I We'll talk to y'all in episode 17 with more updates. And I want to say back to basics because I feel like by the time next week roll around, I'll either be able to shovel my car out or the snow will be melted away that I feel comfortable moving my car from my spot and knowing I'll have another parking spot to come back home to. Yeah, that's another reason. I'm like, I'm not trying to leave my parking spot and then somebody try to fucking park in my spot and I'm just gonna be sitting there because they don't want to fucking leave. I'm like, nah, fuck that. So I'm kind of waiting for because Philly get grimy when snow get on the ground. I'm talking about parking lot, like parking spot wars is a thing. That man, it's like battle royale and shit in Philly. It's crazy. I see motherfuckers get shot over a fucking parking spot when it's snow, and it's not funny. But it's just like it get gutter, man. It get gutter. It real gutter. But yeah, since I got a herniated disc, my sciatic nerve flaring up. I'm not trying to go out there and shovel no snow, as well as I'm not trying to be out there trying to figure out how I'm gonna get a parking space when or if I were to leave and come back. Like, nah, that's not. I'm not on that. So I've been doing lifts a lot. Like I took a lift to the doctor and took a lift back. I was going to take a lift to the chiropractors I was going to go to, but actually canceled that because the same device that they were going to be using, well, they was going to use the inverted table and stuff like that, and this decompression like belt thing, which was cool. I would love to experience it, and experimented with it, but I was like, nah, because it would have been like it's like 40. I think it was like $41 to go up there for the one trip, and then that wasn't even before I would have been done, which I probably would have been done within an hour, which meant it would have been like in the 3 o'clock range, 3:30 range, which meant peak hours because this school drop off time. So that would have been another like 55 to 60 hours on that note. But then I probably would have got hungry and I seen there was a restaurant over there because it's in Conshohocken, so it was a restaurant there. So more than likely I probably spent like another like $20 on food or something like that to go there. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do all that because that alone is like over $100 or so just the round trip and going to get something to eat. So, and then that wasn't even just the fact of me paying for the treatment. Treatment was like $50 because it was one of those first come first serve type things, promotional deals, which I've done before. They're fun. That's how I actually found out that I had a herniated disc when I was in Seattle. I went to a chiropractor that was doing it was like a $40 introduction to chiropractic like session type thing. And he's like, oh yeah, you got herniated disc and popped that bitch right back in place. So grateful, so fucking grateful. But yeah, so now yeah, I'm just looking forward to my belt coming, the apparatus coming, and then I can do that myself and do my stretching and just work out and stuff like that, and get myself in proper shape, proper belt. So yeah, just want to say thank you again for listening. Thank you for traversing this verse with me, and good luck to everybody. Just stay safe. Like truly, just stay safe. Just uh, yeah, it's getting wild out there, and it's gonna get wilder, but we will prevail. We will prevail. Those that are authentic, those that are real, those that aren't bigoted, those that aren't racist, those that aren't fucking just savages that are just fucking supporting a fucking pedophile and a fucking murderer and a fucking just all around piece of shit human being. Just so full of shit that he shits himself in Oval Office. You can't even fucking sandblast that chair to fucking have that shit be pristine no more. You gotta burn that bitch. You gotta burn that chair and burn that desk. Just get a whole new desk. Get a whole new floor plan. Soon as he gets out of the fucking office, however he get out of office, hopefully sooner than later. Like they just gotta like they want to like torch the whole thing, just restart the whole remodel, just rip up the rugs, rip off the wallpaper, just restart new. Cause we don't need his orange fucking stench and anything that will linger in that fucking room. But anyway, that's just my take. You know, freedom of speech and all that. Fuck ice. And I hope y'all have a good day and have a good week and enjoy everything that y'all doing. And don't let them stress you out. That's what their whole goal is. Their goal is to be that weirdo fucking kid that always fucking get in people's faces and fucking make everybody freak out because they point a finger right next to their eye and shit like that. Where they're not, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. That's basically what these weirdos are in ICE and the MAGA. They just literally are just pathetic little dick pieces of shit who think they're in power, but really they just smell like old musty ass fucking socks and look like goddamn old cottage cheese. Talking about they the fucking superior goddamn race. Superior and getting melanoma. How about them apples? Alright. Fucking 5:37. I'm I'm tired. I'm gonna go to sleep after I pick this up. But yeah. Um Happy Black History Life. Fuck ice. And go support some local authors in your area. Go support some local POC authors in your area. I'm a local POC artist, so you can support me. Go on Instagram and look up the Night of Passion, uh, Night of Passion series, Book One, Will and Kelly, Book Two, Janet's Story by T.J. Jack Love. That's T.J. Jack, and Jack Love, Love. One word, Jack Love, one word. TJ, one word. And A Night of Passion series. Yeah. Will and Kelly and Janet's Story. Yeah. So those are two books I actually have out currently. I am actually finishing book three now, which is called Meet the Parents. I am going to be sending it to my editor soon and allowing my editor to work on it. And hopefully, well, it'll be out when it be out. I really don't have any plans for a planned scheduled date for it to be released. It's just when I'm done and my editor is done and sends it back to finish, second edit draft, and I will go over it again and make sure that my words are intact and my vision is intact, and then I'll publish it. So yeah, but until then, I do have two books out that you can support, as well as continuing to support this beautiful podcast that I've created. Welcome to the Troyiverse. So thank you again for listening. Thank you again for being a part of this experience. And if you are my soul tribe, then welcome aboard. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but definitely full of adventure and just meeting our goals, whatever our goals are. So enjoy that fact and know that, we shall overcome. We are. Okay. Yeah, have a great one. I'll talk to y'all next time. This has been a Troyiverse production.